Let me ask you something that most people are too afraid to answer honestly. Are you doing what you love with your life, or are you just existing? Moving through the motions, checking boxes, following rules someone else wrote? Because here's the truth most people never say out loud. You're not here to just pay bills and die. You are here to live, to breathe fire into your days, to chase something that sets your soul on fire. You're here to do what you love. And yet, so many of us wake up every morning feeling drained before the day even begins. Because deep down, we know we're not living our purpose. We're living someone else's plan. You were not born to fit into a system that rewards comfort over passion. You were not meant to spend your life doing work that kills your spirit just to earn enough to keep going in circles. That's not a life, that's survival. And you, my friend, are not here to survive. You are here to create, to explore, to give, to grow, and most importantly, to do what you love. But somewhere along the way, you were told to be practical. You were told to be realistic. You were told to stop dreaming and grow up. And maybe you listened. Maybe you buried your passion because it didn't fit the mold. Maybe you stopped chasing what you love because someone else didn't believe in it. But I need you to hear this. Just because they gave up on their dreams doesn't mean you have to. Just because they were too afraid to try doesn't mean you should be too. Because every second you spend doing something you hate is a second you never get back. Time is the one thing you can't earn more of. And yet we trade it away, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, doing things that don't move us, for money that doesn't fulfill us, to buy things we don't even need. Why? Because we're scared. Scared to start over, scared to fail, scared to be judged. But let me tell you something about fear. It's not a stop sign, it's a signal. A signal that you're on the edge of something meaningful, something real. Doing what you love doesn't mean the path will be easy, but it means the struggle will be worth it. It means waking up with energy instead of dread. It means pouring your heart into something that actually matters to you. It means failing and still being proud because you failed doing what made you feel alive. That's the difference. When you're doing what you love, failure isn't the end. It's part of the process, part of the passion, part of the journey that makes the success even more powerful when it finally comes. And don't confuse this with some fantasy where everything is perfect. Doing what you love doesn't mean you won't have bad days. It means the bad days still feel right. Because they're yours. They belong to something that matters. And let me be clear, doing what you love doesn't mean you have to quit your job tomorrow. It means you start being honest with yourself. It means you start carving out space for your passion. It means you stop making excuses and start making progress. Even if it's just 1 hour a day. Even if it's just a weekend. Even if it's messy and slow and scary. Because you were not made to settle. You were made to rise. You were made to create a life, not escape one. And you will never regret going after what you love, but you will regret ignoring it. You'll regret the time wasted, the chances not taken, the dreams left to die inside you. That pain, that's the worst kind of pain, the pain of what could have been. And the only way to avoid it is to take action now. No more waiting for the perfect moment. No more telling yourself someday. Someday is not a day on the calendar. Today is the only day you're guaranteed, so what are you waiting for? Permission? You don't need it. Approval? You already have it. From the one person who matters most, you. You've got one life, one shot, one story to write, and you are the author. So write something bold, something beautiful, something true. Do what lights you up. Do what scares you in the best way. Do what keeps you awake at night because your heart can't stop thinking about it. That's the life you were meant for. That's the life that calls your name when everything else goes quiet. And if you're thinking, but I don't know what I love, then start exploring. Get curious, try things, make mistakes. Pay attention to what excites you, what drains you, what makes time disappear. That's your soul giving you clues. And once you find it, once you find that thing that makes you feel fully alive, hold on to it, protect it, nourish it. Because that is your gift. And your gift is not random, it is your responsibility. You were given that fire for a reason, so use it. Will it be hard? Absolutely. Will people doubt you? Of course. Will you have to start from the bottom? Most likely. But hear me, hard is not bad. Hard is just unfamiliar. Doubt is not danger. And starting from the bottom, that's where every great story begins. You are not too late. There comes a time in every person's life where they have to stop and ask themselves a question that cuts through all the noise. And that question is, am I truly living the life I want to live? Or am I just getting through the days? Because there's a massive difference between existing and living, between surviving and thriving, between doing what's expected of you and doing what your soul came here to do. That difference, it's called passion. And if you're not following your passion, you are not giving yourself the life you deserve. We grow up being taught to be smart, to be safe, to be logical. We're told to get good grades, get a decent job, pay our bills, and be grateful for stability. But here's what they don't teach us. They don't teach us how to listen to that inner fire, that pull, that voice inside that whispers. This is what you're meant to do. That voice is your passion, and ignoring it is like trying to silence your own heartbeat. Because your passion is your purpose in motion. It's the intersection between what you love and what the world needs from you. But so many people bury their passions. Not because they don't have them, everyone has passion, but because they're afraid. Afraid of judgment, afraid of failure, afraid of what people will say. And over time, that fear becomes a wall between the life they're living and the life they could be living. And let me tell you something with every ounce of truth I have. You were not put on this planet to fit into someone else's version of success. You were not born to simply check boxes and follow rules. You were born to ignite, to create, to lead, to transform. And the only way to do that is to follow your passion. Following your passion isn't reckless. It's real. It's not a fantasy. It's a calling. And it doesn't mean you have to quit your job tomorrow or throw your life into chaos. It means you start listening. You start making space. You stop shoving your dreams into the corner of maybe someday and start making them part of what I'm building now. You stop telling yourself it's too late, too risky, too impractical. You stop living a life where your passion is a hobby and start building a life where it becomes the heartbeat of your purpose. You know why most people feel stuck? It's not because they're not talented. It's not because they're not capable. It's because they're disconnected from what moves them. When you're passionate about something, you don't need to be pushed. You're pulled. You don't need motivation. You've got momentum. You wake up with energy. You work through the pain. You show up again and again because it's not just a job, it's a mission. And that kind of drive, it's unstoppable. But people will try to talk you out of it. They'll say, be realistic. You can't make a living doing that. That's not how the world works. But let me ask you, whose voice are you going to listen to? The voice of someone who gave up on their dreams? Or the voice inside you that won't stay quiet? That voice that keeps coming back, no matter how many times you try to ignore it. That voice is your truth. And your truth is trying to lead you home. Home to a life that feels like yours. Now listen closely. Following your passion doesn't mean the road will be easy. In fact, it'll probably be harder than anything else you've ever done. Because it demands everything. It demands heart, grit, sacrifice, patience. But it also gives back tenfold. It gives you meaning, joy, fulfillment, pride. And let me tell you something. There is nothing more powerful than a human being who is lit up from the inside. When you follow your passion, you radiate a kind of energy that can't be faked. It's magnetic, it's contagious, and it changes the world around you. You don't need all the answers right now, you just need to start. Passion doesn't scream, it whispers. It shows up in the things you lose track of time doing, the topics you can't stop thinking about, the ideas that keep you up at night, the skills that come naturally, that you love refining. Passion lives in those quiet moments when your heart beats a little faster and you feel alive just thinking about it. That's not coincidence, that's direction. And maybe you're thinking, but I don't know what my passion is. That's okay. You're not supposed to have it all figured out. Start exploring. Start saying yes to curiosity. Let go of the idea that you need certainty before you take the first step. Passion is discovered, not downloaded. It's something you uncover layer by layer, by trying, failing, creating, connecting, reflecting. And every step you take, even the messy ones, brings you closer to clarity. And let's get something straight. Following your passion is not selfish. In fact, it's the most generous thing you can do. Because when you do what you love, you serve from a place of joy, not obligation. You give your best energy, your best ideas, your best self.